Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Sunday Times Live Dialogues, where we bring you the big issues and burning issues facing the country. Today is no different, but it is different. We're going to have some fun. So South Africa, as we all know and love, has a rich heritage, 11 official languages, and we're going to speak almost all of them today. I'd like to introduce you to Tyson Ngubeni, the hilarious comedian and actor and journalist who spent time in our newsroom many years ago, who's going to run the show today. So over to you, Tyson.
Thank you, Nikki. Give me 1 second. Is it coming? Well, thank you. Apologies for that, fine people. You know, somebody called me a Groot man today. They said, "Hey, Bob, Groot man." I said, "What?" So I had to Google it. G-R-O-O-T, man. Apparently, it's a mark of respect. I was standing outside a Spaza shop looking to get some candy. I asked how much. The guy said, $5 bob. I said, "Listen, there's only one of me." So, you know, as a kid, I used to think the Sunday Times was the name for the group of guys with a stopwatch on Formula One race day. But no. So, yes, my name is Bob O'Connor. I've been in South Africa for a little bit of a while now. I'm trying to stick around a bit longer, get my green card. You know, one of the requirements is you have to understand South African culture. I don't know if they're going to make us write a test, but I think I'll be prepared. Ever heard of GQOM? It's a musical genre from Durban. GQOM. It's from that coastal city. We got a couple of really good people. Babes Wadimo, Destruction Boys, Construction Girls. It's a pretty good genre, I tell you.
It does sound pretty good. I absolutely agree. Hi, I'm Cheryl. I'm from Randburg. I actually prefer amapiano, and I think South Africa is actually the only place in the world where if you push a piano key, it knocks Kokota piano. Or so says Killer Cow, really. He's a great artist. Apparently was born near a dairy farm in the Free State.
You're talking about Estina? I read about that in the Sunday papers.
No, another farm. But he's a pretty good guy. I actually like that genre of music. But I think people are playing games, you know. I know it's been locked down, but I don't know if you guys recall that one game from childhood. There's a party around the corner. Would you please call the police? Why is there a party around the corner? And why are there 500 people at this party? We're living in a pandemic. It's a pandemic. Listen, I know the music is good. Shakana, Capsida Small, Alexander the Great. But come on. Let's try and be a little bit responsible. Come on, guys. This is like the only thing that I'm begging of you and asking of you.
Okay, must not to come down now. Kule Zoom meeting kunabantu ababayi. Mara ngazi ukuthi abantu base-Sunday Times bangikolota ihemer. Ngicela ngikhulumeni nawo. Bathi bazongizamela ihemer. Ngala makhekhe wasemncwabeni lawa deki yabona lawa ngawo. Lawa neflower phezulu uma wahlafuna uthi. Ngilawa ema-ofisini we-Sunday Times abanginikeza ngehemer. Cabanga. Ayike ngayikho credit. Ngicela ngikhulumeni nawo. Come on.
If I can just interject here for a second. I don't know what that guy's talking about, but it's quite rude of me. I didn't take the time to introduce myself in great detail. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you here to this live stream. My name is Bob O'Connor, special correspondent to major news networks across the globe. I've been based in South Africa since December 2018, shooting a documentary here. I was born in Madison, Wisconsin, September 14th, 1972. I went to Randall Elementary. I got my high school diploma from Middleton High back in 1990. Good times. I went to prom with a certain Paula Jenkins. You know, I've always wanted to serve my country, so as a young man, I registered at the Federal Law Enforcement Agency Training Center, or FLETech, in Glencoe, Georgia. Then I joined the CIA. My first assignment was in Thailand. I spent 16 years undercover there. This has all been declassified now, so I can talk about it openly. I worked as a barista at this small place in northern Phuket. I spent 16 years there undercover. The place was called Bad Coffee My Back. And how it worked was we used to make coffee using our hands while giving back rubs using our feet. It was a fine establishment. I was four-time employee of the month there. After that, well, I left the CIA and, my information gathering skills came to good use when I decided to freelance as a journalist. I've been doing that since about 2010. Fast forward to 2018, December, I arrived in South Africa. Anyway, this documentary that we're shooting is focused on South Africa's public transport system. Particularly, we're trying to uncover what happens to the human brain when you sit in the front seat of a taxi. Something about the front seat of a taxi, well, it affects your cerebrum and it muddles your mathematical faculties. I mean, the 1 minute, you could have been great in school with counting. And the next thing, someone taps you on the shoulder and yells, 4! And another person yells, my change, where's my change? And then your brain is gone. Well, it's a medical documentary, but we're also trying to, do the best we can to uncover what exactly is going on. But if there's one thing I've learned about being here in South Africa, it's that, life is like a robot. And by that, I'm not talking about a fancy piece of technology, but a traffic light in South Africa. You're going to come across hurdles and intersections, but listen, when the light goes green, it's your time to go. From me, Bob O'Connor, it's back to all of you in studio. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Tyson Gubeni, and it's absolutely great to be here at the Sunday Times Dialogues. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. We're going to be going through quite a lot. We're going to be having a lot of fun asking questions. If you are going to have a little something to say about some of those questions, then we'll hear from you guys in the comments. And yeah, we're going to get straight into it. So, lovely people here on this live stream, how important are our languages and how do we better preserve them? That's going to be the crux of really everything that's going to be taking place today. To discuss this, I would like to introduce to you our panelists. We have got the renowned author, Fred Khumalo, who has written many books, of course, including Bitches Brew and Dancing the Death Drill, and his latest, The Longest. Khumalo, welcome. We have also got Professor Liketi Makalela, Head of African Languages at the Wits School of Education. Welcome. And we are also joined by Annalisa Burgess, co-editor of Freya Weekblad. Welcome, Annalisa. Welcome. So we're going to start off with a short panel discussion before we get to a fantastic quiz a little bit later on. And to kick us all off, I'm going to start with you, Fred. So you draw your own heritage and, of course, the country's heritage from your work in, or for your work in The Longest March, and, of course, Dancing the Death Drill, and, of course, all the way to your biography, Touching My Blood. I would like to ask, how much of an inspiration is the heritage of South Africa to you, and do you think we appreciate it enough?
Hi, Tyson. Thanks for being such a great host. Yes, my books, my two latest books, Dancing the Death Drill and The Longest March, as you correctly pointed out, a celebration of our heritage and history. In that, in those two books, I specifically and deliberately go back to our past to excavate some hidden pockets of our history and then put them on the pedestal for South Africans to look at these stories that inform who they are. Do they like where they come from? How do they celebrate their South Africanness? So that's a very deliberate act on my part to go back to the past so that we can celebrate what we have today, which then informs and charts the path for our future. So those are the two considerations behind the writing specifically of the two books, Dancing the Death Drill, which looks at the SS Mendi, the sinking of the SS Mendi ship during the First World War, and then The Longest March, which looks at a specific march by 7,000 black men and some women marching from Johannesburg to Natal, fleeing the outbreak of the Anglo-Boer War right here in Johannesburg in 1899. So that is part of our history and heritage.
Okay. Do you think we appreciate our heritage enough?
I wish we could actually be more sincere about our heritage and the history. To me, at the moment, it looks like we're treating Heritage Day as Halloween. I mean, Bob O'Connor is from the United States, so he is familiar with this. Halloween, October, you go into costume for one day, and then you get drunk, you celebrate. The following day, it's back to business again. So that's how I think we are treating heritage in South Africa. What do I mean? I mean things that are kind of permanent manifestations and celebrations of heritage are not given the respect that I think they should. For example, if you look at some of the monuments that are supposed to speak to our heritage and past. The other day I was talking to someone about the grave of King Ngqiga of the Mahahabe people in the Eastern Cape. That grave is supposed to be celebrated and protected, but it is in neglect. And not very far from that, there is a monument to the people who died during the Nongawuse debacle. That also is a shambles. So I can go on and on and on and on to show that we are not really sincere. We don't go the whole hog to celebrate and respect and elevate our heritage.
Wow. Thank you very much. And of course, it would make a huge difference to go beyond like the cosmetics of what we tend to do on the 24th of September. Professor Lekete, I'll come to you. Are our indigenous languages under threat, and are we doing enough to preserve and to promote them?
Well, first, thank you, Tyson, for your lovely introduction. That was great. I felt I was in two parts of the world. You just demonstrated what we call the cultural competence among people who have languages, multilingual people generally. That's the heritage that we have in South Africa, which I believe we are not tapping into that. Well, language is like life. Language is who you become and how you show up in life in many, many different ways, aspects or domains of your humanity. But language is also a way of, it's a mediator between you and the world, how you come to make sense of the world around you. Now, if you want to take people out of humanity, dehumanize them, the one thing that you want to take away is their language. Now, the African languages, our indigenous African languages that are here, have not been given the kind of prestige that they need. And as a result, that affects all of us in many, many fundamental ways. You can be in a South African university, in an African university, and get a degree without having learned an African language. That's abnormal. You can be in the whole basic education system. As you know, up until now, they are only used in the early years for the first 3 years of learning and teaching. And then you take the academic oomph and the essence of what they should be to give people worldviews and perspectives that are within themselves. This was adopted in the 1800s. We still have that practice in our schools where you learn through your African languages for 3 years and then you sing or swim in grade 4. And the story goes on and on and on. You are affected for your whole makeup. I cannot imagine you coming out of the schooling system appreciating the sense of who you should become, because it is taking that thing, what you call your identity affirmation in the world. And language is very central to that. We're not doing well.
Thank you, Prof. I'm going to actually come to you now, Annalisa. So Afrikaans speakers, we know, of course, as with like many speakers, they jealously protect their language. So what tactics can passionate speakers of other languages to employ to promote and protect their languages, do you think?
Well, when you speak about Afrikaans, I feel the weight of this incredible kind of baggage that comes along with Afrikaans, the white power straitjacket. And it's the thing that we at Vrye Weekblad are trying very hard to do, is to take the language out of that straitjacket and to put it into a kind of progressive framework. The question around, Afrikaans speaking people have done very well in terms of protecting the language. It is the third most spoken language in South Africa, and there's a lot of books being written, a lot of Afrikaans music and so on. There are organizations like the Artikafeer. And of course, that's a good thing. It means people, the Afrikaans-speaking language community is doing it for themselves in a way, but it's also, it comes with a long history of help and a long history of institutional backing. And I think what the professor was saying is exactly this, that Afrikaans is alive and thriving despite its terrible baggage. And it's because Afrikaans speakers do a lot for themselves in terms of the language, but it's because it was also a favored language. It was powered and backed by powerful forces to get there. And I think until we do the same thing for other languages that we do for Afrikaans, we aren't, then we really are not living our heritage. And all I can say is that we can't depend on the government to do it. We are all going to have to do it for ourselves, and we're going to have to do it for each other.
Sure. Thank you. Very salient points there, of course. And of course, once something does have institutional backing at that level, it has a huge impact on how it develops over time. Fred, I'm going to come back to you. I'd like to know what impact your home language, isiZulu, and your culture has had on your work. Do you find that it influences your style of writing, the idioms you use, and the characters that you create?
Oh yes, most definitely. Even before I started writing novels and fiction, when I was working for the Sunday Times, for example, as a columnist, I deliberately, they gave me a column which was supposed to be funny, humorous, and so on, and I deliberately decided to go back to my roots, so to speak. In as much as I write in English, I write in English with a Zulu idiom. And my earlier columns dealt with trying to explode or implode Zulu stereotypes, for example, and so on. So as a result, there's a Zulu inflection in my writing. So I write in English, but that is highly Zulu accented. So, for example, in my latest novel, The Longest March, off the top of my head, I can think of some proverbs that I use or expressions that I use in English, but which come from Zulu. There's one, for example, that goes "Agundlovu yasindo mbogo." So you translate that literally, it doesn't make much sense. But the poetry of it basically means an elephant has never complained about the weight of its trunk. You just run with the punches, so to speak. So I pepper my writing with those kind of Zulu gems and pearls. Sometimes I don't even translate them, I just use them. I hoy them, the reader has to make up their mind if they want to continue with the story. I mean, so it's a multilingual culture, this. So yeah, I borrow a lot from my heritage in my English writing, which might present problems for overseas readers. For example. Well, that's their problem, not mine.
Thank you very much, Fred. Thank you so much. Annalisa, coming back to you, could you tell us a bit more about your the journey rather of Afrikaans in the past century or so, from marginalized language battling for official status to language of oppression to one of our official languages? So that journey, does Afrikaans get a bad rap? And how would its negative image be overcome if that is the case?
I'm not going to delve into the long history of Afrikaans. I can maybe speak about my own personal kind of journey with the language. I didn't grow up as an Afrikaans speaker. I grew up in an English-speaking home, and I grew up in the Eastern Cape, where we speak a very particular English. You know, we talk about gaffel, and we talk about chaila, and we talk about we speak a hybrid of different languages that get spoken here, and it was all fine for me growing up in a very protected small little local school and so on. But when I went into the big wide world, I felt incredibly inferior about my English. There was this kind of, proper English speakers would look down on kind of, Eastern Capers like us who speak this kind of weird hybrid dialect, I would say. And when I got involved, I was at Stellenbosch University, and when we got involved in the late 80s in politics, and there was this new wave around Afrikaans. There was protest music in Afrikaans. There was this wave of protest politics that Afrikaans students were doing. There was the establishment of the Vrye Weekblad, which is the publication that we have now revived, which was an anti-apartheid publication in Afrikaans. And for me, I embraced an Afrikaans kind of identity as a personal liberation for myself. Liberate myself almost from the shame of not being a proper English speaker. And there was a whole generation of people in my time who embraced Afrikaans, because suddenly it wasn't the Afrikaans of the National Party anymore. It was an Afrikaans that was being freed from that straitjacket that I've spoken about. And we were not speaking proper Afrikaans. We were speaking the Afrikaans that we loved and that we liked. And so in a weird way, this language of oppression became a language of liberation for me, and I think for many kind of progressive white people of my age. And when I look at the readership that we have for Vrye Weekblad, I can see that there is a real need to use this language and do the language in a way that moves away from that kind of apartheid power background.
Okay. Thank you. And Prof. Leketi, coming back to you, with regards, I'd like to hear if you have any helpful hints for parents of children at private and formal Model C schools where the language of instruction is primarily English. How would they get them to speak their home languages so they can properly, kind of engage with their culture in that way? I don't know if you have any thoughts or hints regarding that.
Well, is this a big structural issue? Most of the parents who take their children there have got very limited choices, because then you have got the policy of the school that says you have English as the medium, and maybe you have one other language to learn, maybe it's French or Afrikaans or another, or maybe isiZulu for only non-mother tongue speakers taught at another level. So they really have very, very limited. What you have in the household, though, is also limited, because the media, all they have, the gadgets, and they're all through the medium of English. There are many parents with good intentions to teach their children African languages, but there really is a Titanic. They are fighting against something that is untenable. And for here, you do need a direct political will and support, and at the very, very high level, at the institutionalize the use of African languages, because it's what is called prestige planning. So languages don't just exist and live, they have to be planned as we do economic planning, financial planning. You also have language planning. Unless you do have that, in the post-1994 era, we have not actually done language planning. One of those is parity of esteem, and to redress the imbalances of the past. And some of those imbalances have to do with seeing that you don't really have so many languages that we think we have in South Africa, because that was part of the colonial package. So we are working on that template. You know, during the apartheid period, the Bantustan homelands based on language differences, but that is coming from the ancient times even. We haven't done that to correct the mistakes of having multiple languages that should not be multiple. So the parents, because of the rule and divide that you have now, is very, very difficult structure for any single parent. These parents are also going through an education system that says your language is not important. Let's cut it and immerse you from when you're age 10. And that's their condition, and that's what they know. And in fact, many of them would say, I don't need an African language because it's not the language of job, it's not the language of the economy, and all of that. And understandably so. But we need to address it at a much more high level.
Sure. And let's say if I am a parent, but I do have an interest in my kids having, you know, like just being fluent in like our home language and just being, you know, better in that sense. What are some of the strategies that you think could be adopted as a parent?
One of those would be to buy children's books, or to have teenagers' books that are written, but do you have those materials to buy? Because they are only available as school packages for learning and teaching. Only then. You don't have anything you cannot buy. You don't have the resources except your own mouth to speak to a child in an African language, but that is not supported by anything else outside of your immediate environment. They should, I would still think, emphasize the importance of these languages and use them as much as possible. But the attitude and the prestige is something that must be planned at a real high level. And school is one of those places.
Thank you so much, Prof. Really, really appreciate that. And our other panelists, Annalisa, of course, as well as Fred. We really appreciate your thoughts on the brink of Heritage Day as we consider our languages. And we will now be moving on to our quiz. So thank you so much to all three of our panelists. And in this quiz, we're going to be testing the multilingual skills of some of the Sunday Times staffers. So if you viewers may have some comments on some of the panelists' answers, please, you're welcome to interact with us in the comment section. And during the quiz, you're welcome to vote as well to tell us who you think is the winner. So our quiz panel includes opinion editor Kaifas Khosana. Welcome, welcome. We have reporter Gaugelo Maswining. Welcome to you. Sports reporter Kanyiso Chwaku, investigative reporter Sipho Masondo, and production editor Mzi Olifant. Welcome to all of you, our fantastic panelists. And our editor Stimbi Somsomi couldn't be with us today, unfortunately. And for the questions in this quiz, we want to say a very, very huge thank you to language activist Mongezi Bolofo, veteran journalist and editor Matata Tseru, former editor Bongani Siqoko, Sowetan news editor Tabiso Takali, and deputy news editor Isaac Mahlangu, as well as Sunday Times staffers Belinda Peto, Joanne Flores, Yasanta Naidu, and Nolo Moima, as well as Amukelani Chauke quote unquote, the pride of Guyana. Thank you to all of you. And we'll be moving now to the quiz. And this is how it works. Okay, so I will read an idiom or an expression in one of our dialects or official languages to a chosen contestant. And then the contestant must then tell me what the idiom means. If the contestants cannot answer, then the rest of the panel can volunteer to answer by putting up their hand. And if nobody puts up their hand, then I will pick someone myself. If there is a dispute, our panel, Fred, Ligeti, and Annalisa, will be the judges in case of a dispute here. And the winner of this competition gets a bottle of single malt. Okay, let us do it. Let us get straight into it. So the first question is for Kanyiso, who has lived in Durban. And it's in Durban English, but maybe not the kind of Durban English you may be familiar with. Okay, Kanyiso, I am going to read this out for you. Here is the idiom, and we're looking for the meaning. So not necessarily like the literal translation, but like what does it mean, you know? Okay. I'm not gonna put on an accent here. Here it comes. Here it comes. I'll repeat it for you just so you know. Tuning you exe, that oh sticky, she's shambies that one. I'll repeat. Tuning you exe, that oh sticky, she's shambies that one.
Oh, look, I'm telling you, that guy's lady is beautiful.
You came close. You said beautiful, but the translation here that I have is crazy or not or right. Yeah, that was the translation for Shambi. So you came close there.
Oh, I never heard that when I stayed there. I never heard that.
Okay, I've got Nikki Julius here, I think, who will be keeping score, right, Nikki? Yes, she is keeping score as we go along. This next question is for Caiaphas. Caiaphas, this question is as follows. It's also in Durban English, and it goes as follows. This is the phrase. For what your beans are jumping, why are you dying and staying? I'll repeat. For what your beans are jumping, why are you dying and staying?
I have no idea. Absolutely no idea what that person is trying to say.
Okay, I will pass this on to, let's select Sipo. Any idea what this means? I'm going to pass it over to Sipo.
Oh dear, sorry, I don't know either. Just like
as they said on Jamali. Okay. Who can I pass this along to? Should I just keep like passing it along, batting along? Let us see. Does anyone know? I'm going to give you guys a chance to put your hands up if anyone knows. I'm going to repeat the phrase. For what your beans are jumping, why are you dying and staying? Or maybe you can just say out your name if you know the answer.
I don't know.
No? Okay. So we'll move along on that one. The answer was, why are you getting involved? No one is asking you to stay or get involved. Yo, I need to spend more time in Durbs. Okay, this next one is for Gaugelo. We're still on Durban English. Gaugelo, here's the phrase. You check that game on the box. Messi dalad like Amada, pulling 1-2 top moves. I'll repeat that again. You check that game on the box. Messi dalad like Amada, pulling 1-2 top moves. Over to you, Gaugelo.
Okay. I don't know what the hell they're trying to say. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what they say. But it's something about...
Yeah?
I don't know.
Not even the first half, Yana.
Okay, you check. Okay, you check something about did you see or did you hear? And just repeat it again. Maybe I might get it. You
For the final time, here goes. You check that game on the box. Messi dalad like Amada, pulling 1-2 top moves.
Do you see the game? Messi pulled it. I don't know.
Giving up. Final answer.
This is why I'm from Limpopo.
I'm gonna throw that open to the rest of the contestants. Does anyone know? If you do have a clue, you can just okay, Mzi, I see you have your hands up. Yes.
Did you check the game on TV? Messi was mesmerizing. He scored a goal or two.
I think that's close enough. That's very, very good. Did you watch the soccer game on TV? Messi played superbly, demonstrating excellent skills. So congrats to you, Mzi. You get the point there. Okay, so this next set of phrases is in isiZulu. isiZulu. And I'm going to shoot this one over to you, Caiphas. This question is for you to see if you can get this right. So here it goes. In his letter to Cyril Ramaphosa, Jacob Zuma wrote, "Ukubhekwa ngobende inyama ungayidlanga. Ukubhekwa ngobende inyama ungayidlanga." What does that mean?
To be accused of something you haven't done.
Yeah. Wow, just mic drop moments. It's like, be accused of something you haven't done. Wow, that was amazing. Like straight into it. So the literal meaning of it is to smear one with blood when they never ate the meat. And it comes from the folktale where the rabbit killed the chickens and ate them, but smeared the blood on the pig. So absolutely fantastic from you, Caiphas. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. We're going to move on to Kanyiso now. So Kanyiso, this question is for you. It's a phrase in isiZulu. And it goes as follows. Ukukhatha uhlanya. Ukukhatha uhlanya. What does that mean?
Yo, I know. I learned a lot of my Zulu through Fred Kumalo and reading on Sunday Times, but ukukhatha uhlanya, I know that it's two different words. Yo, I have no idea.
I'll bounce it over to you, Fred. Fred, I'll bounce it over to you.
Okay, ukhatha uhlanya. Okay, that is the proper intonation. Ukhatha uhlanya.
I beg your pardon. That was Wisconsin coming through. Ukhatha uhlanya. Yes.
Yeah, is to use an enema on a crazy person.
So that's the literal meaning. Idiomatically, what does it mean as an idiom?
As an idiom, it means you are very busy. You're up and down.
Very busy, up and down. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you so much there. We'll move on to the next one. This one is for you, Mzi. Mzi, this one's for you. Again, there's a literal meaning, and we're looking for the idiomatic meaning. So here's the phrase: Yinja umlungu. I'll repeat: Yinja umlungu. Over to you.
Yinja umlungu. A white man is the man. Yeah.
Okay. I can see how you went to that route. Okay. It's not quite what we looking for. So there's an idiom kind of attached to it. So that's maybe like the literal translation. Well, not quite. Can I throw this one to Sipho? Sipho, if someone says Yinja umlungu, what's the kind of literal one, and what's the idiomatically, like, what are they saying?
Oh, shit, I hope I get this one, hey? I think the literal meaning is like the white man is a dog, you know? And I think what it actually means is that you can never trust a white person. That's what I think. I don't know. I really hope I'm correct.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. According to the information we have here, can I check this one to Fred again? If you might know where this idiom is going.
As Sipho correctly pointed out, the the literal translation is a white man is a dog. But a figurative explanation means he's a super being. He's a super being.
Okay, so that's kind of where Mzi was going.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. So I'll give it to Mzi then, according to the independent auditors that I have here next to me. So Mzi, you get the point there. Although the meaning that was explored here was that it was expressing something along the lines of I don't want to wake up to go to work tomorrow and report to someone. So it was a phrase born out of frustration. In that sense. Okay, but Mzi, you get those points there. This next question is for you, Sipho. It's for you, Sipho. I hope you're ready for this. Here it goes. Ukuxhomela ama-China ngekarati. I will repeat that again. Ukuxhomela ama-China ngekarati. What does this mean?
Okay, can you hear me? So, ukuxhomela ama-China ngekarati, let me just try and arrange my English properly. But that's basically a township phrase. What's the literal meaning? The literal meaning is, or maybe let me start by what it actually means. It means that, I mean, you can't you can't teach a Chinese man like how to do karate, because that's where karate comes from. Like it's part of their culture. You can't. Yeah, basically it means you can't teach a Chinese man karate because it's like it's who he is, part of his culture. It's him. Karate is him and his karate. That's what it means.
Okay, and the figurative meaning?
Okay, the figurative meaning. What's happening to me? Just give me a few minutes. Give me a second. I'll figure it out. It actually means it means
10 seconds.
It means I suppose it means someone who's very skilled in something. It says like you can't teach that guy anything because he's very skilled in whatever you're talking about, whatever they
100%. That's it. That is absolutely it. You've got that. So you get the points, Sipho. Yeah. You get the points there. We move on now to Sipitori. We're going to be borrowing phrases from that, the dialect from that region, Sipitori. And this first one is for you, Gaugelo. What does it mean when someone says, "Unwam tonyonyo"? I'll repeat, "Unwam tonyonyo"?
Unomtonyonyo. Isn't it to have fun?
Unfortunately not.
A strong beverage.
Yes.
A strong beverage, a strong drink. Mtonyonyo is like a beer or some kind of beer that's strong. No. Yay. Yeah, Maram, almost
the beverage part of it. Sipho has his hand raised. What does Unwamtonyonyo mean? Let's see if you get that. So you're in the ballpark, right?
I'm just really like taking a chance here. I don't know Sipitori, but I think it means you are mad. You're crazy.
No, that is absolutely not correct. Kaifas, hand raised there.
Kauchel is very close. Mtonyonyo is a red wine. You're drinking wine or red wine.
Okay, I have here, I don't know if we'll give the points, but I'm just I have here, you're drinking fake or cheap alcohol. So I suppose red wine could apply depending on, I don't know, where it was made. So that was the answer there. You're drinking fake or cheap, or I think probably like bad alcohol. Okay, they said we'll give half a point there from our independent auditors and Dromishin Dimakato. You get half a point. Okay, so this next question is for Sipo. Sipo, it's for you. What does it mean when someone says Jubayaka in Rata Rof? I'll repeat. Jubayaka in Rata Rof. What does that mean, Sipo?
Oh dear. Jubayaka in Rata Rof. Let me guess. I don't know, but I'm gonna take a wild shot. Does it not mean that shit. Does it not mean my partner loves me in a like I get crazy love for my partner?
That is close enough, and yes, that is approved. It says here, my boyfriend loves me dearly, so you get the points there. Okay, this next question is for Mzi. Mzi, this one is for you. What does it mean when someone says "baunokile"? I'll repeat, "baunokile." What does that mean?
They defrauded you.
That is correct. Quick one there. Congratulations to get the points there. I'm hearing that the Sowetans are winning. If you guys are from Soweto, you know how cosmopolitan we are, so we get by. Kanyiso, this one is for you, Kanyiso. What does it mean when someone says Olaskaka? Olaskaka. Oh, I beg your pardon. Olaskaka. What does that mean?
You know, before you ask me this question, you should have given me that pommy intro of describing a green pitch, because you're always tossing me the difficult questions.
What does it mean, Olaskaka? What does that mean?
I'll take a punt and I'll say that you are not of sane mind. You're not of sound mind.
Not quite. Any hands raised? I see Sipo. Sipo, you want to take a stab at this?
Does it not mean you are naughty?
No. So I might have mispronounced that the first time. So it's Olaskaka. Olaskaka. That's what I'm hearing.
Olaskaka. Oh, okay. I don't know.
No takers?
Olaskaka is a derogatory term it's very derogatory term for an older kind of woman.
Oh, wow. I have here, it says it means you're ugly. So I didn't, well, according to our...
Different meanings.
Beg your pardon?
Different meanings.
Yeah. So that's the one that I had here. Okay, so we'll move right along to Setswana. And here I'm going to beg your pardon for some of the pronunciation, but we will do our best. This first question is for you, Kanyiso. Kanyiso, this first question is for you. This phrase is in Setswana. We're trying to get the meaning if possible. Okay. Mosadi fa'a inama. Okay, let me gather myself now. Mosadi fa'a inama o abe a ikantse motlokolo. I'll repeat that. And I beg your pardon for the pronunciation. Mosadi fa'a inama o abe a ikantse motlokolo. What does that mean?
Can Kaifas pronounce it? Since it's Setswana, can Kaifas say it in Setswana so I can hear it properly?
Okay, yes. So did you catch that, Kaifas?
Yeah, I think you got it almost correct. Mosadi fa inama o wa ikantse motlokolo.
That's it.
Yo.
Don't worry, I don't even know what it means myself.
I'll pass on to Khaukhelo. She seems to know.
What is happening?
So basically, it talks about how a woman always has something up her sleeve, so she always has a plan. So yeah, basically.
That's 100% correct. Congratulations, Khaukhelo. You get all of those points there. Thank you so much again for that intervention, Kaifas. Really appreciate that. This next one is for you, Mzi. Mzi. Okay, this one, it reads as follows. Nko ya kgomo mogala tshwara thata. E sere o utlwa mongo wa kgaoga. I'm going to repeat that. It's not, too left field. Nko ya kgomo mogala tshwara thata. E sere o utlwa mongo wa kgaoga.
Tyson, no. I'll pass.
Do we have any takers? I have Khao again. Khao coming from left field with the left hooks and the. She's like, home ground advantage. Yes.
Pela, this is where I must flourish. So the essence of it is about how no matter how difficult things, don't at a time when things get difficult, they give up. So it talks about holding on. So
that is absolutely correct. Yes, and the literal meaning there was a nose of a cow must hold tight and not tear when it smells something strong. So that was the little meaning, but the figurative one is what we were looking for. How that was brilliant, fantastic. You get the points there. Yes. This next question is for Sipho. It is also still in Setswana. Sipho, it goes as follows. Yo. Khomo mogobeng e wetswa ka namane. I'll repeat that. Khomo mogobeng e wetswa ka namane. What does that mean, Sipho?
Oh dear, I'll pass. I know it's got something to do with a cow, but I don't know. I'll just pass.
Here comes Khao from around turn 16 to take possible points. What's happening? Khao, yes?
So we have the same in Sepedi, right? So as a parent, when your child gets into trouble, it becomes your burden. So parents are always thrown into problems by their children.
That is absolutely correct. And you get those points, Khao. The literal translation here, a cow falls into a well because of a calf. But of course, as you so brilliantly explained, mothers getting into trouble, because of their children. So that was brilliant. Kaifas, we're going to come to you. We move now to 3 phrases in isiXhosa, but the first one is for you, Kaifas. Okay, here comes the phrase. Ikati lilele eziko. I'll repeat. Ikati lilele eziko. What does that mean?
A cat is sleeping somewhere. I don't know where. It's somewhere a cat is sleeping. I don't know what that means.
And no figurative tries there.
No, I can't decipher that.
Okay, I'm gonna come to Mzi for this one. The hand was raised. Let's see if you get that.
There's poverty in the house. There's hunger.
That is correct. Yes, that is close. Things are bad. There's not even anything to cook. The literal translation is the cat is sleeping at the fireplace. Fireplace. Anyway, so that's what the independent auditors had written over here. Khawkhela, we will come to you. This question is yours, and it goes as follows. Iqaqa aliziva ukunuka. I repeat. Iqaqa aliziva ukunuka. What does that mean?
Yeah, the challenge is I don't know what iqaqa is, but it goes, I think it has got something to do with how someone doesn't see their own imperfections. Yay, nay.
Wow, that is correct. So yes, you got that is what the idiom means. Yeah, and a skunk cannot smell itself. That was the translation there. So wow, brilliant. You get the points there. How Sipho? Yeah. Okay, this one is for you. Okay. Here it goes. Yigusha ubani. Or angazi it's ubani if the intonation goes like that, but it's yigusha ubani. That's what I'm reading here. What does that mean, Sipho?
Why do I always get all the difficult ones, hey? Igusha ubani. Let me try and figure it out. Igusha is a.
Well, I think it's probably Yikusha Ubani kind of thing. I think that's the intonation. That's what my Nguni gut is telling me. Okay, carry on.
You have to give me half a point for this one. Igusha is a sheep, right? No, I don't know the rest. Yeah, please pass. Right?
Sorry. I'll come to Z's hand was up first, and then if we are Doya, then we'll come to Caiaphas.
Oh, so-and-so is a lovely person.
Not quite. We'll throw it over to you, Caiaphas.
Is it about how do you put it? Who's the dumb person? Who's the asking? Do you think I'm not smart? Do you think I'm dumb?
No, also not quite there.
Okay,
Fred,
right.
do you have some thoughts there? I see you're in a pensive kind of pose there. Any idea? No. Okay. Well, Kanyiso?
I've never come across that one. That's the thing. I'm trying to think.
Ubani.
Ikusha ubani. I thought if you're gonna say Ngubani Mnikazi weku, I thought you're gonna call him Ngubani Mnikazi wekusha, which is who is the boss. But that's the one that I had in mind. So I can only say that Ubani Kusha like Ubani is Koko. That's the only way. That's the only one that comes close to my mind right now.
So what I have here is that so and so, the person being referred to, is meek or quiet.
Ubani Yikusha. Ubani Yikusha. Now
does it make sense?
He's a lovely person. He's a lovely person.
So they're really meek and quiet. That's the
now.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to Sesotho. We've got 4 phrases here, and this first one is for you, Caiaphas. Here it goes. What does it mean when someone says, "Kiashwa kia ikepela ka wena"? Kiashwa kia ikepela ka wena. What does that mean?
I thank you very much. I love you very much.
Hey! And he knocks that one out of the park. Absolutely correct. Yes, you get the points there. This next one is for you, Sipho. What does it mean when someone says, "Sikotlola sa monna ke lerala"? Sikotlola sa monna ke lerala. What does that mean?
Again and again, another difficult one for me. Kotlolo sa monna ke lerala. No. Kotlolo is what? No, let me just pass, eh?
Pass it on. Do we see any hands? Kanyiso, I see a raised hand there, yes?
I know that Lerala is a station on the Tembisa line, but Sekotlolo someone Lerala comes across to me as a man's word is his bond.
Nope, it is not. The Tembisa line. Metro, we'll get you there. No Mangajani. Brought to you by Kanyiso. Okay, so it's not quite that. Do you have any other takers? No, Prof. Legeti? Is it ringing any bells for you, that phrase?
I can only say Skotlala is a dish. It's where you put in pap or something of a man. It's Serala. I think Serala, I thought Serala meant, what is it? When you tie your shoes or something like that.
In this case, this phrase means so someone nakelerala. So it says here, the figurative translation, so it's normal for men to pee standing anywhere they feel like it. The man's back is a hill. Apparently, this is what our independent auditors and linguists and phrase compilers have said. So we'll move on. So no points there, but we'll move on to Mzi. This one's for you. Okay. What does it mean when someone says "Hokopa mohope wa metsi"? Hokopa mohope wa metsi. What does that mean, Mzi?
To go begging.
Final answer, no. I see a raised hand from Kefis there. What does it mean?
Ask for hand in marriage.
100% correct. And Kefis gets the points there from turn 14. Coming through to pick up the points. Congratulations there. Are we all getting back? Yes, as everyone gets back online. We apologize for the cut in transmission there. We were trying to sell aquas cream. Nanoma iningi ungathemba i-aquas cream yakho butter ukuze isikhumba sakho sifana nesaka Kefas. Hi, I'm Kefas. And I use Aquas Cream Your Cocoa Butter. That's why you can trust me to be looking good and doing my best. Aquas Cream Your Cocoa Butter. Are we back? Are we back? Okay, it looks like everybody is back. Oh, brilliant. Okay, brilliant. So yes, sorry about that break in transmission. We will get back to the phrase. It was for Haugelo, and the phrase is Huiketa nja furung. I'll repeat. Huiketa nja furung. What does that mean, Haugelo?
You think you're the best? Say yes, you think you're the best. Oh, we get on. Oh.
No, unfortunately not.
But you know,
yeah.
Maybe it's the way you pronounce it. I could be right, but then you pronounced it wrong.
Possibly. Huiketa, iketa, I-K-E-T-S-A, nja, N-T-J-A, furung, F-U-R-U-N. Pronunciation was there.
No, pass. It's fine.
Do we have any takers for this one? Huiketa nja furung? No. Yes, Mzi, I see a hand raised there.
I'm just taking a chance, Tyson. Maybe you're acting big in a small town?
Not quite. I have here the answer is to be overprotective. So the literal translation is you're acting like a dog that sleeps on a haystack. And the meaning is to be overprotective. Okay, so we're gonna move now to Isindebele. And I'll have Kanyuso. I'll come to you for this first question. The phrase in Isindebele. Kanyuso, here we go. What does it mean when they say Ibizo lomuntu yinkomo? Ubizo lomuntu yinkomo. What does that mean?
To talk about someone is very to translating is someone's name is very expensive. So that means that you can't be speaking out loud with someone's name.
Okay. That is actually close enough. So you're gonna award you the points there. So you're not going to divulge the person about the person's name, and the literal translation in Isindebele, a person's name is a cow. But of course, you got that spot on there. You get the points, Kanye. So yes, Haugelo, this one is for you. This next question, what does it mean, Haugelo, when someone says umtlako upote irago? I'll repeat. Umtlako upote irago. What does that mean?
It means that poverty is rife or things are tough.
That is, yes. What it means that someone's having a very hard time. Things are tough, so that's close enough. So you'll get those points, Khawkhelo. Yo, someone's having a very good afternoon here. You get those points. Yes, yes. Congrats, Khawkhelo. Kaifus, this next one is yours. Kaifus, this next one is yours. Umgade uhlanzela abanganampoto. I'll repeat. Umgade uhlanzela abanganampoto. What does it mean, Kaifus?
No idea whatsoever.
No idea. I see a raised hand from Mzi taking a stab at it. What does this mean?
I'll take a fly. Fortune comes to those. Oh, fortune comes to those who don't know what to do with it. You know.
That is absolutely correct. Yes. Yes, you get the points there, MZ. The literal translation, a pumpkin grows in the gardens of those without pots. So yes, taking advantage of opportunities. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. We move now on to Shitanga. And Sipo, this one is for you. Shitanga. Okay, this one is for you. Nikombela uni heleketa kaya ni lanza jezi. I'll repeat. Nikombela uni heleketa kaya ni lanza jezi. What does that mean, Sipo?
Okay, that means the literal meaning there will something along the lines that will you please come home with me? I need to go fetch a jersey. And that's the literal meaning. And I do think that the figurative meaning is that I am cold.
Not quite. Anyone want to take a stab at the figurative meaning in this case? You see any hands raised? Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Apparently, from our language advisor people, the phrase could also be understood to mean, let us go to my place and get frisky. Which no one in because no one would need a jersey in Guyana's 40-degree heat. So this next one is for you, Kanyiso. Yes, I'm looking at you, Kanyiso. Here we go. What does it mean when someone says Ngashitsonga? When they say Diambu rihume nabatukulu. I'll repeat. Diambu rihume nabatukulu. What does that mean?
Can I call Shoma Josie for the translation?
You got her on speed dial.
I think the path is known by those who've traveled on it. That's as much
Can
as
I try?
Not quite, Kanyiso. Sipo, let's hear your attempt.
Does it not mean it's hot?
That is absolutely correct. 100%. It means it's too hot. The literal translation is the sun has come out with its grandkids. It's too hot. And of course, if you spend enough time in Guyana, you will look, well, like this. Of course, some of us have been kissed by the sun. Of course, some of us have a complexion somewhere between Wesley Snipes and Eternal Darkness. Oh, yes. Of course, some of us, when we play hide and seek at night, there is only one winner. Okay, this next one is for this next one is for you, Kaifus. Kaifus, it is yours. What does it mean when someone says kufaya ntsikiti? What does that mean? I'll repeat. Kufaya ntsikiti.
Is to start something.
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Do we have any other takers here? Kufaya ntsikiti. What? No, no. It means to fart. The literal meaning is to kill an insect, but figuratively it means to fart. To pass gas, as we say in Wisconsin. Well, after some meatloaf or a good turkey on Thanksgiving night, there'll be a lot of that, I'll tell you. Okay, so Z, this one is for you. Z, this one is for you. Masiku itinguluve. Itinguluve, I beg your pardon. I'll repeat. Masiku itinguluve.
These are pigs. These are pigs.
The literal translation?
Yeah, that's the literal. That's half a point. These are bad.
figurative meaning? Any idea?
Days are bad. I mean, bad.
Not quite there. Does anyone want to take a stab at what it means figuratively?
Is it not days are not the same?
Almost. You're almost there. Cephas? Any other takers to complete this one? Okay, here it goes.
Life is unpredictable. Oh.
No, carry on.
Life is unpredictable. No.
Not quite. So it means there are plenty of days. If you don't get a chance to do something today, tomorrow is still another day. So that
Which
is
makes
what
it unpredictable.
Which means I get half a point.
Everyone wants a shot. Everyone wants a piece of this point. I'm not sure. So Mzi got the literal translation. I'm not sure if that's a half a point. So Mzi gets that half a point there for being closest there. Okay, now we come to Cape Town Afrikaans. Cape Town Afrikaans. This is the next set of phrases. Okay? Kanyiso. What does it mean, Kanyiso, when someone says, you can't do geharde goedes met gevrekte mense? I'll repeat. You can't do geharde goedes met gevrekte mense. What does that mean, Kanyiso?
You can't do good things with bad people.
Not quite from what I'm hearing. So you're in the ballpark of the literal translation. You're kind of in the ballpark. Does anyone want to take a stab at that? Cephas, I see a hand raised.
You can't do difficult things with people who are not determined.
We're not determined. Actually, that's much closer. So yes, those kind of people would hold you back. So Cephas, you get the point there. You get those points. Sipho, this next one is for you. Okay. Sipho, this one's for you. So, moenie dat enig iemand jou soos 'n korsie treat nie. I'll repeat that. Moenie dat enig iemand jou soos 'n korsie treat nie.
Yo, what?
Moenie dat enig iemand jou soos 'n korsie treat nie.
Don't allow people to treat you like shit, eh?
That's close. That's it. That's it. Don't be a pushover. Don't allow people to. I see Annalisa. Do you approve of that? Yes, I see Annalisa nodding. Okay, cool. Mzi, this one is yours. Okay, Mzi, this one is yours. Jy maak van my bek 'n stasie cafe. I'll repeat. Jy maak van my bek 'n stasie cafe. What does that mean?
You mark me back. No, I'll pass, Tyson. Sorry.
He passes completely. Do you have any takers? Jy maak van my bek soos. Jy maak van my bek 'n stasie cafe. What does that mean? Can you say yes?
I'll try. You make me talk too much.
Not necessarily. Half a point there? That's maybe half the same, maybe a third, maybe a half. Annalisa, do you want to take a stab at this one?
It's actually, I also don't know. The literal translation would be you make my mouth, you change my mouth into a station cafe. So I would think I don't know. Something tastes great. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know you're interrupting me and not giving me a chance to speak. That's the translation that we got here. So you're interrupting me, you're not giving me a chance to speak. That's the translation. Gaugelo, this one is yours, this next phrase. What does it mean when someone says, sy is op die paal? What does that mean? Sy is op die paal. I see Annalisa sniggering in the background. Sy is op die paal. What does that mean, Gaugelo?
I've never done Afrikaans, so it sounds like she's crazy.
Not quite. Not quite.
Okay. She's on point.
No. No. Was that a hand from you, Caiaphas, there?
It's crazy.
No, that is not it. Okay. was just like, that's what I said. Your face. Any other takers? No. Annalisa,
so the literal translation would be, she's on the pole, which means she's pregnant.
100%. She is pregnant. That is it. That is 100% it. We now move on to South Africa's language of love, and it is our final set of phrases. It comes from Chivenda. And I'm going to ask Kanyiso, the first one there. Your facial expression, Kanyiso, is just because he was just like, ew.
When the toss is all first.
Here's the first one. Musitsana wamano atsechela. I'll repeat that, I beg your pardon. Musitsana wamano atsechela. What does that mean?
Never even heard this phrase in Mubango. I have no idea.
It's a pickup line. These are all pickup lines in Chivenda that we're going to be exploring.
I often say Chivenda is a South African form of French. I have absolutely no idea.
Beautiful language. Yes, give it a back.
Isn't the literal translation something about a girl with beautiful teeth, and isn't about a beautiful girl?
That is actually it. A girl with beautiful teeth.
Thank you.
That's a half. So that's half. Musitsana wamano atsechela. So in terms of the figurative, like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Or like, yeah.
Oh wait, it's a girl with a smooth tongue.
Could you repeat that?
Z, okay.
Z?
No, literally you're saying a girl with white teeth, like, so you are killing me. Like, yeah, I love you.
Okay, that half point will go to Caiaphas because you got that first. So Caiaphas, you get those points there. This next one is for you, Sipho. Sipho, this one is yours. This phrase, it's also a pickup line. Gachivenda. Musitsana ono ngautamba ngamafi. Musitsana ono ngautamba ngamafi. Musitsana ono ngautamba ngamafi. Go ahead, Sipho.
Hi, Tessin, can you hear me? I don't know what's happening with this thing. I've lost you guys.
Yes, we can hear you. We'll come back to you, Sipho, while we sort out that connection. I'm going to throw this one to Gaugelo. Gaugelo, this one's yours. Again, we're in Chivenda pickup lines here. Okay. Wamato ononga namana. Waifi lononga la chinoni. I'll repeat. Wamato ononga namana. Waifi lononga la chinoni.
You have beautiful eyes and beautiful what please repeat. It's Venda. I've never been shelled by a Venda man. So
it goes Wamato ononga. Let me say it in the best. I walk up to you in the streets. Wamato ononga namana. Waifi lononga chinoni.
You have beautiful eyes, but I also, the voice is also as beautiful as Chinoni, is like you, as mesmerizing as a bird's. What?
Wow, you got that.
Make the
Absolutely got that. So now they're gonna shell at you. They're gonna be like, "Not go on about Sunday time."
Oh no, yeah, not live.
So you get those points. Congrats, Kaukelo. Sipho, I'm gonna come back to you for this one. So Sipho, what does it mean when someone says Musizana ono ngautamba ngamapi? Musizana ono ngautamba ngamapi. What does that mean?
I think the literal translation is that this woman, what's that in English? She uses milk to bath. She baths with milk. And basically it means she's beautiful, she's pretty.
100%, you get those points. Congrats to you, Sipho. I think we have a similar phrase in Zulu, no? Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Congrats, you get those points there. We move along to Kaifas. This one is yours. Kaifas, this one is yours, and it goes as follows. What does it mean when someone says Musidzana wa Zwigodi Maramani? Musidzana wa Zwigodi Maramani. What does that mean?
The girl with dimples, beautiful girl.
Oh, hey.
That was very predictable.
Yeah, you got that. Thank you, Mubanga. Mzi, we're going to come to you. Mzi, this one is yours. Okay, Mzi, what does it mean when someone says, Ene mukokolo ngadzawe wakundu zono ngadza libu? I'll repeat. Ene mukokolo ngadzawe wakundu zono ngadza libu. What does that mean?
No, I'll pass.
Anyone else? Any other takers there? No hands. Okay, so it means you are the real princess with the waist of a wasp. Yeah, no, you're the real princess with the waist of a wasp. Okay. All right. So just from our panelists, I just want to address this to Fred, Annalisa, and Prof. Liketi. I would like to know how important your languages are to you, and any final comments. Your home languages.
Yes, my home language is Zulu, obviously, and I'm very proud of it. As Annalise said earlier, I think there should be a deliberate effort to support our languages, and extending the same kind of privilege and treatment that was extended to Afrikaans to put where it is today. So there must be a deliberate agenda to promote our languages. So that's my part in short.
Annalisa, I'll come to you, and then we'll wrap with Prof. Liketi.
Well, my adopted home language, which I mean, after 20 years, I'm finally writing in Afrikaans again, and it's been an incredible experience for me. It's the language of my heart. Have to say, my child's not interested. So there's that thing. You know, she'll never speak this language the way I do. But I love Afrikaans.
Thank you. And Prof. Makalela.
I'll say the words and the world, we only become human. We're different from animals because we have got the words, and the words connect us to the world. Our languages are very important. It's how we make sense of the world around us and how we make sense of who we are. We need the words, we need our languages. They're very important.
Thank you so much to all of our panelists. Our Sunday Times staffers for having played along, for being such great sports. Gaugelo coming from turn 14, Kaifas with the remarks over there. Here are our final scores. With 2 points, we have Kanyiso, In 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth place with 2 points, Kanyiso. With 5.5 points, we have Usipho in 4th place. And in 3rd place with 6.5 points, we have Mzi. And in 2nd place with 7 points, we have Kaifus, which makes our winner Khaukhelo. So that special prize is coming your way. Congratulations. Thank you, all of you, for being such fantastic sports. For also just for inviting me to be a part of this. It was loads of fun. Thank you very much. I look forward to following your work from week to week, day to day, all of the things that you're going to write, all of the books that you're going to put out. Yes, I'm super excited. Thank you again to our panelists. And yeah, I think that concludes almost our event. I just want to check my notes here. So this recorded discussion will be made available, of course, in a thank you mailer, which will be sent after this discussion. So make sure that you keep an eye out for that. And thank you to all of you who are joining us on this live stream from wherever you may be. Those of you who are tuned in as well. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a fantastic afternoon and a beautiful Heritage Day. And let's do our bit to preserve our languages as well as our culture. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.